Merry Christmas. So hopefully this will actually load here today before I leave the house, or it's going to be a little bit later. Anyways, so the divine is going to give you a message here today on Christmas, and it's going to be whatever it is that you need to hear. So if you haven't tuned into my channel before, just prepare yourself for some eyelid fluttering. It's going to happen, and we'll see what it is that wants to come up here today. Merry Christmas, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. The divine wants you to know that you are loved beyond measure, that you are loved so deeply and so fully and beyond measure that you can't even comprehend what it's like unless you've known and experienced it for yourself. This love is only blocked and is only stopped by thinking, by man's own thinking, by his human thought. Without it, this divine love is free to be experienced at every second of every moment of every single day. As we speak here right now, the only thing that has separated you from this love has been your own human thought, your mind power, your thinking. I want you to imagine for a moment here that it is only your mind that exists, and it is only your mind that controls the whole entire universe. Now, as you do this exercise, you may have noticed that you've placed limits upon yourself. These limits have been placed on you in the form of thought, because the creative process of man begins with consciousness, his thought, his thinking, his mind power. Limits that are placed in the mind place limits on the outer world and the creations that you experience in this life and in this world. The way to let go of these limits first is to identify them, become aware. If something isn't flowing into your life like you want it to be, ask yourself, what do I believe about this particular thing that is causing me to not allow it into my life? What limits have I placed on this particular thing, this particular belief? Now, you might notice that there is hundreds. You might have 200 beliefs that have kept you from the divine and from feeling and experiencing this creative love at all times. Now, the best thing that you can do is remove these limits. The way that we remove these is through subconscious healing. Subconscious healing is done through images and pictures. So if you could even just imagine one of those limits that you have, all you would need to do is imagine yourself actually blowing it up or destroying it, unplugging it, erasing it. And this signals to your subconscious mind that you are no longer in agreement with this belief. Now, after you've done this a few times or several times, if you're doing this exercise on your own, it can take a little bit longer. But as you do this several times, pretty soon you're going to notice that those beliefs begin to shift and that the limits that you placed on them before no longer feel the same. They aren't the same. You don't think about them the same way. Your consciousness will have shifted to something more beneficial for you, removing these limits on the creative process. Now, again, I want you to imagine only your mind exists and only your consciousness. As you imagine it is only your mind and only your consciousness that is in control of, that is creating, and that is dictating your world, you have no one to blame other than yourself. So, if there is any resentment that you're holding, any anger towards others, any judgments or criticisms towards others, this is something that needs to be healed. These are all creations of your own making through your belief and through your consciousness, through your mind power. You need to remove the limits that you've placed because of these beliefs and heal them so that you can set yourself free and live in the creative life that you truly want. Now, perhaps this feels quite overwhelming and you have placed many limits on yourself and you have so many you don't even know where to begin. What did they say? How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Don't eat any elephants, anybody. Now, as you take this one little bit at a time, the very first thing that happens is you become aware of yourself. You become aware of the limits that you've placed. A really good way that you can do this and identify those limits is through automatic writing. So you could even write down at the top of your page, these are the limits I've placed on myself. And you could just begin to write. And as you begin to write, you're going to notice perhaps things begin to flow out that you haven't thought of in quite some time. Now, as these things begin to flow out of you and as you become aware of them, and you can now release the limits that these things have placed on you because your awareness has allowed you to be able to do this. Another good way is to see everything that bothers you as a projection of your own self. So you might blame someone else, or you might say, this person does this, or this person does that, but truly, it's about you. It has nothing to do with that other person. That person is a gift for you so you can see what is in your consciousness that needs to shift and that needs to change so that you can use that creative power that you have, removing any limits, and that you can create a life that you truly desire, that is divinely led. Now, yes, you can decide and choose things for yourself. I want to work at this place. I want to date this person. I want to do this thing. You can make these choices for yourself. But as you do this, you have placed limits by making these choices and these decisions because the divine knows you the best and wants such wonderful, good things for you. That as soon as you say, I want this, I need this, whatever it happens to be, you've placed a barrier on what potentially could have come to you instead that might have been much better. Perfect for you, in fact. This is a process that is done little by little, belief by belief, and it takes quite some time. For myself personally, it was 8 years of work that I did on myself, going back, healing all of the things from the past, shifting and changing my beliefs. I still currently work on this, even though these divine enlightenments that come to me regularly and daily now, I'm much more easily able to stay on track, especially since I've experienced it and I know that what I am speaking about and that what I am saying really is for me the truth. It's much easier to live it once you've experienced it. Which is why studying the Christ letters, taking dedicated time for meditation and to connect with the divine is so imperative to cleansing your consciousness and setting yourself free and creating and manifesting a life that is so wonderful and in alignment with the divine spirit. A life that can create healing for yourself and for other people. I wish you the most merry and wonderful Christmas day. I hope that everyone is well, and thank you for listening to this message. So much love I send to you. Thanks, guys. I hope you guys have the most wonderful Christmas today. I hope you have just the best day. I'm just getting ready. We're just about to leave here, go over to a friend's house today for Christmas. Anyways, I love you guys so much. I love you all so much. I hope you have the best Christmas. Thank you for everything. I will see you guys in the next video. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe, all the good and wonderful things so my page can keep growing. I love you guys. Take care. See you in the next video.